Hi, my name is Kurt Volker. I'm a distinguished fellow here at CEPA, and I am on my way to the UK-hosted Ukraine Recovery Conference. And here are some of the top-line things to watch out for during the course of this week. First, this is the first recovery conference that actually has a significant role for the private sector. This is very important because when it comes to Ukrainian reconstruction, public funds will only go so far. It's going to require private sector investment. And the UK is really trying to bring that into this conference. In order to do that, they're going to launch a significant initiative on providing war risk insurance for private investors. Initially, this is going to be through the World Bank MIGA mechanism. That's the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. But the EBRD is launching a larger program, and individual nations are likely to provide guarantees for investments through their own national export credit agencies to advantage their own businesses. So this is something that's going to be growing significantly out of this. They're also announcing something called a digital matching platform. The idea is to match potential needs and potential donors through a digital platform. We'll see how this goes and whether it really amounts to anything. It's just being announced for the first time. In terms of follow through, though, this is one of the critical things. There's going to be a lot of goodwill for Ukraine expressed at this Ukraine Recovery Conference, just as there was in Berlin in October 2022 and in Lugano last July. But we got to have follow through. You got to have day-to-day action, people focused on Ukraine's recovery. Ukraine needs to rebuild now. They have to build while fighting. You can't wait for the war to be over and then create reconstruction. You have to actually see rebuilding a strong, vibrant economy as the pathway to victory. I don't think people have that mentality quite yet, although there's an effort to advance that as well. The best way to advance this would be to have a permanent structure that is really focused on Ukraine reconstruction all the time. Right now, there's something called the Multi-Donor Coordination Platform, created by the G7, co-chaired by the US, the EU, and Ukraine. It's got a small secretariat in Brussels. This is a great start. It ought to be upgraded. They should take a former head of state or former prime minister from Europe, put them in charge of this, get some more senior advisors and board directors there, and really have a high-level group that is focused continuously on Ukraine's economic recovery. A couple other things to watch out for. There's a growing number of papers and talk about ways in which Russian central bank reserves, which are now frozen in many countries, can be used to pay for Ukraine's reconstruction. Nobody's there yet other than Canada. Most countries see problems with this, but the drumbeat is getting louder, and it's possible you'll see some things on this even this week at this conference. Another thing, the EBRD is expecting to get a capital increase. This is going to give them more money from which they can make larger investments, particularly in Ukraine's reconstruction. Look out for an announcement on that. And then finally, one of the key sectors that is going to power Ukraine in the future is literally the energy sector. Ukraine has favorable conditions for green energy, both wind and solar, and even green hydrogen, and also small and medium-sized nuclear reactors that produce electricity. They're looking to become an energy provider for Europe, for the European Union, replace Russian energy, lower costs for European consumers, help integrate Ukraine with Europe, and do all this on a commercial basis, on a private sector basis. So it's not government aid and handouts for Ukraine, but actual investment that's producing a good that people need. So that's something that is a focal point in the conference this week, and I think will be one of the drivers of Ukraine's reconstruction going forward. Thanks very much. Pleasure to be with you.